Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 26 showed us so many different things happening all at once, and I'm already excited for the next one, and so I want to give my predictions on Chapter 27. The first thing is obviously Kashin Koji is going to explain Mamushi's abilities, what he can do, what his abilities actually are, and how he's able to detect Ada's spying on him with her Senrigan, you know what I mean? Maybe implying his physical body alterations when he's able to transform his arm into a claw and stuff like that. Basically, kind of giving us the rundown on what he can do and how he's able to do things and what he's going to attack with and how to best handle him. That's the other point, is that he's going to put together a team or figure out this is how we're going to handle him and this is how we're going to succeed in defeating Mamushi, you know what I mean? And it might just be putting together a group of people or certain teams to deal with him, or coming up with the strategy, baiting Mamushi with Ada and then having somebody else come in and distract him or fight him or keep him off, you know what I'm saying? So it could be that, and I'm excited to see what Kashin Koji says. I'm excited to know what Mamushi can really do, because so far he's been the real mystery of everything else, you know what I mean? We know what Hidari can do because it's what Sasuke can do. Matsuri could just do what Moegi does. Ryu could do the Iron Sand stuff, and Jura, I mean, he's the Ten Tails, and I feel like we got a good idea of what he can do. So moving forward, I'm really interested to see how Mamushi moves or what he does or how he fights and whatnot. So it's gonna be cool to see Kashin Koji strategizing with Shikamaru and coming up with ideas on how to defeat him based on his Prescience visions. We might get a Prescience vision flashback or some sort of an idea of what he's going to do that obviously I think might deviate from that plan. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. And next we see the Ada, Damon, Sarada, and Sumire standoff, and either a couple of things might happen. I think Ada might be stand down, Damon, I don't want them dead, I don't want you to kill them, but I do kind of want them to know that I could have them killed, you know what I mean? I think she would be excited to have people who aren't her minions, who aren't infatuated with her, but at the same time she doesn't want to leave herself open to their attacks or, you know, for them to hurt her. So I don't know, it's kind of a puzzling situation. Is does she want them dead, or is she scared of them, or see them as a threat, or is it more so I'm excited, I'm actually happy about this because I've never met anybody who's, you know, not been infatuated by me or whatnot, you know what I mean? Besides Boruto and Kawaki, you know what I'm saying? So that'd be interesting. It might also see Sarada using her Genjutsu. So in that moment when she activated her Mangekyo Sharingan, she could have used Genjutsu, although I don't know if Damon and Ada actually have the ability to see past Genjutsu or if it doesn't affect them. So, because we haven't really seen Genjutsu being used all that much. So I might imagine that it doesn't really matter all that much, or she didn't use it, you know what I mean? It didn't happen, so it's not in question. But it would be interesting to see her use it, you know what I mean? See how that kind of thing works. And then we see possibly my expectation is Sumire is going to deactivate Damon and Ada, or at least just Damon, right? She's going to deactivate Damon using the code word that she learned from Amado. Now, it's unclear if the same deactivation code works for all of them, but I think it can be assumed that if that's where that little piece of info might come in handy. She's going to say, only babble in your sleep, Damon, and he's going to pass out. And then Ada's going to be surprised, and then we'll figure out where we go from there. So maybe that's how Damon kind of gets sidelined even more than he already is. He's not going to see any real action or whatnot because he'll be deactivated, and so they'll have a little bit of a standoff. I don't think Sarada and Sumire want to kill Ada because she's important to helping Boruto and Kashin Koji, but at the same time, without her defense Damon, she's, you know, so there's going to be a mutual trust between the three of them, I guess. For now, until I guess Damon wakes up or whatever. We'll have to wait and see. I think next chapter we might get to see Konohamu being interrogated by Lord Kobu. I think that in the interrogation, it's not going to be so much the reading of his mind, you know what I mean? Where they do that jutsu where they dig through his mind. It's going to be more of a one-on-one interrogation with Lord Kobu basically asking Konohamu questions. He's going to be suspicious how Boruto escaped. There are only a few people there were only a few people who actually knew the combo to the code of like the handcuffs, and Konohamu was in the room the whole time, so he would know. And then as soon as Mitsuki walks in, you know what I mean? It's like maybe there was some sort of message between him and Mitsuki that led him to like free Boruto. You know, I don't know. Next is like, why did Boruto save Konohamaru's life? Right? Like, there's gonna be some suspicion there. Is like, why would he save your life unless you two are working together? So that's going to also come up. And then finally, it's going to be having Lord Kobu question his relationship to Shikamaru, who's the standing Hokage, and his relationship with the seventh, with Naruto, the seventh Hokage. And basically asking, like, what's your dream? And he's like, I want to be Hokage. Isn't it convenient that your mentor, the seventh Hokage, is gone, and then your eighth, you know, the eighth Hokage hasn't taken his position yet? Is it that you want to take that spot yourself, and now you're working with the enemies to get rid of Shikamaru, to get rid of Naruto, so you can become Hokage? You know what I mean? Like, they're just going to spin it in a way that's like, puts Konohamaru in a bad light. And honestly, it might work, because we need Shikamaru on the Hokage spot, and Konohamaru might take the fall for it. For something, for colluding or working with, Amado, and I mean not Amado, Kashin Koji and Boruto, you know what I mean? So they might spin it like that, and it's going to be really interesting to see. And then finally, I think we might get some more pages of the Shinju kind of planning their attack on the Hidden Leaf Village. Whether or not they're going to invade the village, if they're going to give people time to evacuate, if they're just going to start straight fighting everybody, you know what I mean? Like, how are they going to get in? Where are they going to go? What's their step going to be? You know, stuff like that. And if it's going to see, like, Hidari going after Sarada, and Jura going after Himawari, and Mamushi going after Ada, or are they all going to group together to go after one target, and then go after the next, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's more so like they'll split up, divide and conquer. They can each handle their own for the most part. So Hidari is going to go after Sarada, Mamushi is going to go after Ada, and Jura is going to go after Himawari, and then we'll get individual confrontations based on that, you know what I mean? When they invade, so we'll have to wait and see. But those are my predictions. You know, I think that from what we've got so far, those are the most likely scenarios that we could see next chapter, and we could see it, like, obviously develop. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that these predictions are possible? Do you guys think that, like, actually I think they'll go in a completely different direction, or they'll focus on something else that they were talking about, or, you know, stuff like that? Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah,